Two superpowers, thousands of nuclear weapons, and a world constantly on edge of destruction, without ever going to direct war. This was the Cold War, a decades-long conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union that shaped the modern world. In 1945, World War II ended, but peace didn't last long. Two superpowers emerged, the United States and the Soviet Union. The US supported capitalism, free markets, and democracy. The Soviet Union supported communism, state control, and one-party rule. They had just been allies, but now they didn't trust each other. The growing tension became known as a Cold War, a conflict of ideology, power, and influence. Europe became quickly divided. Western Europe aligned with the United States, and Eastern Europe fell under Soviet control, often called the Eastern Bloc. In 1946, Winston Churchill described this divide as an iron curtain falling across Europe. Germany itself was split into two countries, West Germany, which was capitalist and sided with the United States, and East Germany, which was communist and sided with the Soviets. And in the middle of it all, Berlin, a divided city inside communist territory. The US adopted a strategy called containment, stop communism from spreading. They launched the Marshall Plan, sending billions of dollars to rebuild Western Europe and keep it capitalist. Meanwhile, tensions nearly exploded in Berlin when the Soviet Union blockaded the city. The US responded with the Berlin Airlift, flying in supplies for nearly a year. It worked, but it showed how close things were to war. Then came the most terrifying part, nuclear weapons. Both sides built massive arsenals of atomic bombs. This created a dangerous balance called mutually assured destruction. If one side launched nukes, both sides would be destroyed. So instead of a direct war, they fought indirectly, through proxy wars and political influence around the world, and through ideologies. The Cold War turned hot in other countries. In Korea, the North Communist fought the South, supported by the US. This war ended in a stalemate, and Korea remains divided until today. In Vietnam, the US tried to stop the spread of communism, but after years of brutal fighting, they withdrew. These wars cost millions of lives and showed how global the Cold War had really become. In 1962, the world came close to nuclear war. The Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba just 90 miles from the United States. The US discovered them and demanded their removal. For 13 days, the world held its breath. Finally, a deal was reached. The Soviets removed the missiles from Cuba, and the US secretly agreed to remove missiles from Turkey. Disaster was avoided, but just barely. The Cold War wasn't just about weapons, it was also about technology and prestige. The Soviet Union launched the first satellite into space, Sputnik, shocking the world. But the United States responded, eventually landing humans on the moon in 1969. The space race became a symbol of competition between these two superpowers and a highlight of the Cold War. By the 1980s, the Soviet Union was struggling. Its economy was weak. Its people demanded change. New leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced reforms, but they also weakened Soviet control. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, a powerful symbol that the Cold War was ending. In 1991, the Soviet Union officially collapsed and the Cold War was over. The United States emerged as the world's only superpower for a time, but the effects of the Cold War still shape global politics today. The Cold War wasn't fought with direct battles between superpowers, but its impact was massive. It influenced wars, technology, politics, and the lives of millions. And even today, the Cold War's legacy is still unfolding.